Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is 5 KCM versus 7.5 KCM. Let's talk about warding. I feel like most of the sentries placed by the 7.5 MMR had a reason and thought behind it. We can see the ancients running away in this clip, and he immediately knows that there's some sort of vision around that area. Nice use of the Nova to get vision as well. While the 5 KCM knew they had map control problems, he just tried to put sentries in places he felt would be useful. We can see Tinker in the mid lane example, and then this one. They get a kill on AOC, and Troll didn't seem to know about their positioning, and he uses another sentry, so that's 200 golden sentries pretty much wasted. And these are only two examples, we actually have way more. Teamfights. In this teamfight, the 5 KCM waits the allies to reach the Legion, and since Legion didn't seem to care, he doesn't spend the sentry in the obvious location in that cliff. I like that he waits to use the skills. Only when Treant gets there, he starts committing them, and after killing Troll and seeing Axe going to the high ground, he hides in that spot, close to the enemy tier 1. It might seem dangerous, but it's actually one of the safest places in that area when Axe is hidden, close to the Radiant Shrine. Overall, pretty good decision making. This fight by Fly was also very good. He uses the trees very well, and I really like that he doesn't try to go closer to the enemies to use Frostbite. A lot of players like the idea of using their cooldowns at all times. He actually maintains a very defensive stance, and thanks to Tinker's laser, he has time to use Frostbite, but he keeps disengaging. That defensive stance guarantees he doesn't get clipped by RP, and they get an amazing fight. After that one, they keep pushing their advantage, and pay attention how CM understands her limits, and doesn't even go beyond the high ground. Too much damage and chasing potential. When more heroes come, look how Fly uses those trees at nighttime to stay around in case they need help, without being in danger. In the end, there's nothing he can do against PA's BKB, and he runs away. Support in general. I'm pretty sure that the 5 KCM never bought any smokes, didn't bought a lot of wards, and in this clip he plays pretty well, kills Frostbite while TPing in a hidden location, but it's Tinker that needs to bring the dust that guarantees the kill. I don't like this. One thing is being greedy, and another one is neglecting what your team needs. While Fly always had tons of smokes on his inventory, which is actually something people forget about, having 3 smokes ready is a very big waste of time since you're wasting their cooldowns. I also felt that there were tons of times that the 5 KCM just alt-tapped for some reason or lost time thinking about the next move, while Fly did all of his moves fluidly, thinking about what you want to do as you go back to base so that you'd stop losing time doing nothing can go a long way. If in a normal game you waste like 5 seconds every 1 minute, you're literally losing 5 minutes of farm in a 16-minute game. That can make a huge difference in mid to late game situations, so always think about that when you can. ROSHAN. When the 5 KCM goes for ROSHAN, she literally enters the pit when there's a Desolator Weaver hitting it. I completely disagree with that play. There's Blink Legion, Blink Axe, Shadow Blade Troll, and there's no sentry in the ground, while on top of that he can be bursted very easily if Radiant decides to contest. Considering that CM also has a Blink Dagger, there's really no reason for this, except the fact they know they have momentum in the game. But that can change very easily, especially considering the amount of cores on the Radiant side, so I really dislike what he did here. The Roshan attempt for Fly's team happened while he was dead and Ursa did it alone, so I guess Fly loses some points for being dead, but way less than the 5 KCM. High ground siege. As Fly was warding the dire jungle, his team initiates while sieging high ground. I did talk about him never using Frostbite in the later stages of the game, since he needs to play far back against Blink Axe and Magnus as well as PA's Dagger. Look how he respects the enemy high ground. He never steps foot there once, even with Ursa having ages. He keeps going in and out to see if he can cast Frostbite, but he never put himself in bad positions. When Magnus goes in, I can feel a lot of people feeling forced and obligated to use Frostbite, use, or even ult, but he keeps a safe distance from the dire heroes, respects their BKBs, and just shows up when he can do something meaningful without dying. Crispy positioning. By positioning himself very safe while also being in range to cast Nova when possible, he's always there to enable his team, and they eventually get the kills to secure the barracks. The 5k CM team gets a lot of pickoffs, transitioning them towards the tier 3 mid. The positioning is pretty cool. This time, only Tide and Weaver are hitting the tower. But you can see so many experiences. When Monkey King casts Stun and X initiates, I feel like if instead of trying to cast Frostbite on X, CM actually walked to the edge of the high ground and used Frost Nova, he would be able to slow X. Instead, he clicked on X, and you can see that the pathing CM takes is not optimal at all. In comparison, the 7k CM always tried to abuse the higher total range that Frost Nova offered him. So yeah, in the end, Blink Dagger guarantees the route, but against more experienced teams, this could be the trigger for a counter initiation, or maybe having Blink to ult later would be better.
Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fogged, Waga, and Monib. They have great content on the new patch, and if you want to raise your MMR, this is a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins.